welcome back to the channel, everyone. Now, this video might grind a few gears. Get it? Grind a few gears, but we're gonna be talking about why I went ahead and swapped from 410 gears to 355s, because I know a lot of people might say, yo, dude, you're out of your mind. Why would you go ahead and swap those gears? But I do have good reason. Oof. I still gotta practice my takeoffs. Really do. That's one thing that I still have yet to kind of get used to with the 355s, but I know a lot of people, those speed bumps are criminal. Let's pull out of here. Too crazy because it is hot as hell out here in Houston. I mean, it was cold for like a week and then we get hit with a heat wave. So we're just gonna cruise the car, get a little POV drive going in, and then we'll discuss. But it's crazy. It literally could be like 50 degrees and then snap of a finger it's like 80 and it feels like 90. Intercooler is going to work. Dropping the IATs down as we're moving, which is nuts because with this new Treadstone intercooler, I'm actually gonna roll my windows up so you guys can hear me. Because with this new Treadstone intercooler, like the IATs, even at idle, and especially during like driving and especially during hard pulls, whenever it is hot outside, the IATs mirror the ambient temp. Now, I'm not talking about it mirrors it when it's like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, because that's, you know, what an intercooler should do. Even with it being hot, because 80 degrees is hot. Like, that's not really optimal temperature to drive the car hard at all, which is why I don't do it. It always mirrors. It's like 80 something right now, and the IATs at idle, well, they're at 86 right now. Other intercooler, it'd be like pushing, you know, in the 90s, so this thing is doing a damn good job. And when I start driving, it's probably gonna get down to like 75, 76, 78, around there. So I'm really happy with this purchase. I should have just went ahead and swapped this out off rip. I had a feeling that I probably should have done it, but I didn't. I'm really kind of regretting I didn't do it. So if you guys are deciding on boosting your 2 valves and you guys are wondering what intercooler you should go with, do not get the CX Racing intercooler. Just go ahead and get a Treadstone intercooler. Don't have to even be a highly rated Treadstone intercooler. Just get any Treadstone intercooler for around the power number you guys want to push. I'd say 200 up, you know, as a safety net. And they actually sell the intercooler piping and the clamps on the website too. And the funny thing is, like, the prices are like around the same. I think like the CX Racing intercooler kit now, new, is like 780 bucks. You can get all this for like 750, literally. Like, I could get my intercooler with the piping and the clamps for like 800 bucks. So like 20, 30 extra dollars, you get an intercooler that's rated for 1,000 horsepower, that flows better in every way, for a little bit more. I mean, you really can't beat that at all. Roll my windows down a little bit. Woohoo! I gotta be kind of careful with my transmission too. And my clutch, because I haven't really been treating it nice. I've been like, I haven't fully broken the clutch in either. So like, I'm kind of going like on and off. Like, I'll hit the car hard one day, then the next day I'll kind of like let it cool, maybe hit it, you know, hard the next day. But during the day, I'm not doing any pulls. It's just way too hot. Somebody got frisky right here. I wonder who that was. Yeah, I really gotta put this car into gear now. Nice to cruise though. There we go. There's the IATs going down. It is just nice to cruise though. You know, you really enjoy a car when like you don't have to be wringing it out all the way to enjoy it. That's something that I do like about like Mustangs. You can just cruise them. I'm going like 40 right now. You can just cruise the cars, just chilling, listening to music. You don't got to be beating on it. Like at the FRS, I had to be beating the shit out of that car to get like the full enjoyment. Which, I mean, it was fun hearing all the turbo flutters and stuff, but here like you get the whole experience. You get the blow off valve, you get, you know, the blower noise, everything just like going below like 60 miles an hour, which is crazy because the FRS would only open up, well, my windows a little bit, the FRS would only open up really, you know, 60 miles an hour or higher. That's just how those cars work. This one you could just cruise it and just have a good time. Now, again, I will be getting this fixed actually. It actually like worked for a second earlier and then it just messed up again. So something is definitely wrong with wiring. I personally don't like to mess with anything wiring related because if you fuck something up with wiring, you know, it literally can mess up an entire car. So I'm gonna just literally get, you know, somebody that knows what they're doing with wiring to go ahead and diagnose this, because I mean, I have no shame saying I can't do something. And wiring, I mean, literally, I'm not messing with that. I mean, it's really no point to mess with that. Wiring on an older car, in a car that's boosted, or, you know, any type of like forced induction, nitrous, turbo, whatever, if this AFR gauge messed with, you know, my tuner's capability of connecting his laptop with the ECU, I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and start pulling on stuff, because, you know, last thing I need to do is, you know, either make it so the car won't turn on, accidentally flash the car back to stock without me knowing, or, you know, no, I'm not even gonna mess with it. I'm not even gonna mess with it at all. I'm just gonna play it safe. But I will go ahead and I will be installing a boost gauge as well as the old temp, old pressure gauge, so I can monitor all that stuff. So then technically I won't need to have the SCT4 on at all times. I'll have boost, AFR, and like old temp. So those are like the three major things you want to look at when going ahead and, you know, having a boosted application. The fuel pump duty cycle is important as well, but I've done a couple watt logs. Put this thing into gear. I've done a couple watt logs with this car and it never really gets over 49%, and that's where it was at the previous power number as well. It would never get over 49%, so I'm assuming it's making around the same power. It's just the power has shifted, or maybe this fuel pump's not even really like at max efficiency, because I know the fuel pump I have right now, a Walbro 225 liter fuel pump, these are good up to 550 wheel horsepower. So you got about, you know, roughly 100 more to go before it's like at max. So it should be good. I know you don't really want to get these fuel pumps, you know, to max efficiency. I think you want to stop them, you know, before 75%, if that's where I remember correctly. Because I know for my FRS, for the fuel pump, we never really wanted to put it, you know, above 75, 80% duty cycle. The injectors, I know the injectors are more than capable. I got 80-pound injectors. My injectors are good for like 1,000 wheels on pump gas, so don't have to worry about that. Damn, my car needs a wash ASAP. But I want to go ahead and kind of discuss why I went ahead and switched from 410 gears to 355s. I know a lot of people kind of do the exact opposite. They either go up a gear set, whether that be from like the stock 327s or the 331s, depending on, you know, what you got done to your car, and they usually go up to like 373s or 410s. I do apologize for the wind noise. I have the windscreen on, just to my luck. You know, there's a bunch of wind now, so it is what it is. But with the Supercharger, because my car has a Vortech V1 Supercharger, I wanted to go ahead and have the capability of riding out the boost at higher speeds and in the upper RPMs. Now, if this was still an NA car, I'd 100% go ahead and agree that the 410 gears or even the 373 gears would be your best option, just because you're going to get more out of that gear. The car is going to feel a lot faster because it's going to accelerate a little bit harder because of the taller gear ratio. But when you guys go ahead and add force induction to your setup, and depending on how you guys want to go ahead and run your car, you're going to have to think long and hard about what type of gear ratios you've had. Now, I had the 410 gears on this car with the Supercharger since I'd say about September of last year, and I literally just changed them a week ago. It's now, you know, March of 2022. So I've had more than enough time to go ahead and make up my mind on what gear ratio I was gonna go ahead and throw on this car. Now, something else you guys are gonna have to realize and kind of take into account is your tire size. Now, I have a Mickey Thompson ET Street SS 275/60/15. Because I am running a 28-inch tall tire, it's going to kind of act like the middle ground of 331s and 355s. Now, under watt pulls, high RPMs, higher speeds, this is not a problem. But if you guys are trying to build a car that is just strictly stoplight to stoplight, burning the tires off, you know, short bursts of speed, maybe, you know, getting up to 100, if that, you guys are gonna have to think about the tire size you're running. I'd probably go ahead and like keep it to a 26 tall tire at max, but for my setup and also for the power that I'm gonna be putting down in the future, I'm just gonna stick with the 28-inch tall tire. Pretty much gears and tires are gonna be like, that sounds good. Pretty much gears and tires are gonna be all kind of correlating and set up for how you want to set up the car. Because if you guys are trying to have, I'd say, a street car that can do everything, you can drive it on the street, you can take it out to the highway, you know, you can launch at the track, you could do road races, I'd say 355 gears are going to be your best bet, in all honesty. Now, if you guys want to just build a track car only, where it's only going to be seeing time at the track, you're not going to be taking it out on the highway, you're not going to be doing roll races. If you are, they're only going to be up to 100 miles an hour. You're going to go ahead and only take the car out, you know, on the street and just do, you know, stoplight to stoplight pulls. I could definitely go ahead and see the 373s working out the best if you are boosted, or the 410s if you guys are NA. Now, for NA, I'd say 410s are going to be probably the way to go with the tire. Car will hook and book. It's going to feel a lot faster, and overall you're probably going to get more enjoyment out of it. Now, if you guys are boosted like me, whether it be a centrifugal supercharger or a Kenny Bell, especially a Kenny Bell car, that's going to be, you know, that immediate torque down low. My blower is going to be, a lot of the power is going to be at the top end, which is also why I went ahead and went with 355 gears to ride out that boost. You're definitely going to want to go ahead and kind of gear down. I'd say 373's max is probably what you want to have with a 26 or 28 inch tall tire. I think you guys will definitely enjoy the car a lot more. So yeah, that's kind of why I went ahead and switched from 410s to 355s. I enjoy the car a lot more. The car pulls a hell of a lot harder up top. The car is more, I'd say, linear, and it's more kind of evenly spaced out, because before all the power was like immediate and then it would just kind of fall off and not really go anywhere. Now I get to like literally feel the boost kick in, feel the boost building up, and overall just kind of get more out of the car with the Supercharger that I have. The T-trim, again, all the power's up top, so I was never able to kind of experience that with the 410s. Now with the 355s, I can fully experience the blower, take that full advantage of it, and kind of ride out that power. And I'm overall enjoying the car a hell of a lot more. And honestly, I don't regret going ahead and, you know, experiencing it with 410s, but I am glad that I went ahead and went with 355s, excuse me, with the power level and how my car is set up. You know, around 450 wheel horsepower, my car will see, I'd say on the next setup with the built motor, at first around probably like 650, 700, and then we'll turn it up even more as I get used to the car. But overall, I think that's how you guys want to set up your cars, depending on, you know, what type of route you want to take. Street car, definitely 355s, 373s max, track only, 410s if you guys are NA, 373s if you guys are boosted. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Kind of want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on this topic, because I know a lot of people were kind of wondering why I went ahead and geared essentially like 2, technically 3 gears down, because I know you can get like 390s, which I don't want to go with. 373s I don't want to go with, so I just went with 355s. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.